First time ever on the channel, I'm going to be reviewing a WWE pay-per-view event. For this video, camera's normally in this position. For these videos I'll put the whole video up, my full face, so we can get a better idea of what I'm thinking and my expression on the events that took place. So, put some notes. Started off last night. The pay-per-view itself was okay. Some good matches in there. It was a real downer right at the end. They kind of spoilt it with the good work that they had done, which we'll get into once we get to the Rumble part of it, which I'm sure if you've already watched it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But match one was the pre-show. It was Natalya, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James versus Becky Lynch, Naomi and Nikki Bella. Becky, Naomi and Nikki won this match. Match itself, not much going on, to be perfectly honest. No big major spots or anything like that. Just nothing really to report on that apart from Becky, Naomi and Nikki getting the win in that match. And we'll see how that goes on SmackDown for the foreseeable weeks. I'm sure we'll see. My guess would be that Mickie James and Becky are going to feud after the Mickie getting involved as La Luchadora in the past few weeks. Natalya and Nikki will probably have a match at Mania or building up to Mania. And if I was going to have a stab at it, I think it will be Naomi and Alexa Bliss for the WWE Championship, Women's SmackDown Championship, either at the next pay-per-view or maybe even at Mania itself. So we'll just have to see how that pans out. That's my prediction on that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next match we got a Raw Tag Team title match between Anderson and Gallows and Cesaro and Sheamus. Amazingly, in this match, if you've been watching the over the last year, Anderson and Gallows came in as this big, nasty tag team. Came in with all the hype, loads of momentum. Should have been coming in and beating the New Day, to be perfectly honest, pretty much right away. That didn't happen, and I've just been booked to lose and lose and lose and lose constantly. During the Halloween period, they had Gallows was getting a pumpkin pie in the face. And they were just made to look completely ridiculous in these matches, to be perfectly honest. But finally, they've given a little bit of a push. They won the Raw Tag Team Championships last night. A little bit of controversy on how it was won. There was two referees in this match. First referee was accidentally taken out by Sheamus and on the outside, and the second referee had to get into the match, into the ring, to call the match from there. Other than that, it was a pretty uneventful match, other than the way it ended. The Gallows rolls, I believe it was Anderson, rolls up Cesaro and pulls the tights while Cesaro was distracted by what was going on outside with Sheamus, and gets the 1, 2, 3. Obviously the big controversy of the referee on the outside had been there. Instead of being laid out previously in the match, you would have probably seen Cesaro having his tights pulled. He wasn't there, that didn't happen, and Anderson and Gallows finally get their hands on the Raw Tag Team titles after being stripped of them through disqualification a few weeks ago when Sheamus accidentally punched one of the referees in the face. Match 3 was Nia Jax and Sasha Banks. Same again with this match, it was okay. Nothing major. They played up the knee injury with Sasha that was been going over the last few weeks. why they've chose to play this knee injury up as much as they have is beyond me, because she's had umpteen brutal matches with Charlotte, including the Hell in a Cell, and she comes out the next night as if there's nothing wrong with her, walking fine. No crutches, nothing like that, but for whatever reason on this occasion they've completely decided to play this knee injury. Nia Jax picked up the win. I thought, a bit of a surprise, I thought Sasha would win this match and extract some revenge. But Nia wins this match, probably means that this rivalry is far from over. And this will probably lead to a match at the next pay-per-view as well, most likely. Nia hits her with a... can't remember what the name of the finisher is, with that slam finisher that she does. 1, 2, 3, all over. Like I said, nothing much. Nothing much to talk about in this match. But Nia picks up the victory all the same. Moving on to match 4. It was Charlotte and Bayley. Now, going into this match, I personally didn't really care too much what was going on with this match. I thought the booking, much like a lot of Raw's bookings, in case you haven't guessed already, I am a huge SmackDown fan of what they're doing. I cannot stand, I watch it every week to keep up what's going on in the hope that it gets better, but up until this point it really hasn't. For the past couple of years the booking's been downright awful. But going into this match, the booking was particularly dreadful. All this stuff with the poems a few weeks ago, and it was just cringe. Absolutely horrible. And the way, if you like, I've seen in the past, Charlotte can conduct a decent promo, but for whatever reason, whatever's happened, whatever something they're doing different, or a different mindset, I don't know, her promos are just awful at this moment in time. Just absolutely robotic when she sounds when she's speaking. Puts me in mind of when The Rock did the promo on Kane a few years ago, and he did the little voice box thing. My name is Kane, and he did that. That's the way that she sounds when she speaks. It doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound as if it flows, and that could be said for a lot of the Raw superstars. Not to the same extent, but it's just heavily overscripted. They're reading like a TV program and a movie script, word for word. Whereas on SmackDown, it does appear, although it's still probably mostly scripted, they get a little bit of freedom to add a little bit more of a spin on it, their own spin, to make it seem more natural and allow it to flow better. Moving into the match itself was actually pretty good up until the ending. There's a few spots when in the match, Charlotte getting on the figure 8, been overturned, and then Charlotte turns it back over again. A few minutes later, referee made her break it up when she grabbed the ropes for more leverage. Bayley tried to go some kind of move in the corner. It was blocked by Charlotte. It was maybe a Bayley to belly she tried to go for, but I'm not exactly sure on that. It looked as if that's what it was. Other than that, there wasn't much in the match, and the way the match ended was a big talking point. Charlotte had natural selection on the outside of the ring apron, rolls her back in, and then gets a 1, 2, 3. The way the match had been building, it was very anticlimactic. You'd usually expect Bayley to kick out of that, then maybe to hit one of her signature manoeuvres, get a few covers, and then eventually with Charlotte coming out and top in the match. That didn't happen. It was very anticlimactic, and it just completely, the work that they had done to make that match half decent completely kind of wrecked after that. Moving on to the next match, was a match for the Universal title between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Now, if you're a fan of the GD, on YouTube. If you haven't seen any of his videos, he does all the loads of Raw and SmackDown videos. He's been doing it for a few years. I've been watching him for the past few months. He's great. Check him out. JDNY at 206. That's what you have to put in on YouTube and check out his channel. He's brilliant. But he calls Roman Reigns No Man Gains, which I thought was quite amusing. Because it's exactly true. Roman Reigns brings absolutely nothing to the table. And at all. He can't cut a promo, he can't wrestle, and he has absolutely zero personality and charisma. Absolutely zero. But for whatever reason, my guess would be because of the way his look and his size. That's the guy that WWE Vince McMahon wants to push. And I don't believe he'll ever stop trying to push him, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because going on before the Rumble event, I managed to get a lane of the Royal Rumble DVD from a friend, and I watched the documentary part. I might do a little review on it. I won't have the DVD to show you, but I might do a little review on the documentary itself. But I watched that before the Rumble, and basically it goes into the few Rumbles in 2014 and 15, where Roman Reigns was booed out of the building. Particularly when he won the Royal Rumble and Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the match. When everybody wanted Daniel to go on and headline WrestleMania. It shows you a segment in the back when he gets through the curtain and he's talking to Triple H and Vince McMahon, and they're all going, don't worry about it, we don't book on what one city does. And you're like, I was like, what have you been watching for the past few years? He's been getting booed out of the building well before then. That was just as bad as it had been to that point. But he was being booed. People did not want to get behind Roman Reigns about 2 years before that. He came out of the Shield, and it's been completely downhill from there. Same theme music, same looks, everything what he was doing in the Shield, and done nothing different. Whereas Ambrose and Rollins try to go their own separate ways and do something different and be a wee bit more unique to them. But anyway, getting into this match, as you could probably guess, I did not want Roman Reigns to win this match. Thankfully, he did not. The way that it went down wasn't the way I wanted it to go down. We had Chris Jericho raised up in the cage in this match. Before the match had even started, Jericho and Kevin Owens had jumped Reigns to give him a bit of a beatdown. Reigns, as per usual, Superman himself, fights out of it, throws Jericho into the cage and then locks it up for the cage to be raised. The match goes on. It was a pretty good match. Kevin Owens looked pretty strong. There was a couple of spots in this match. One where I think it was Kevin Owens, my network went a little funny and it jumped a wee bit on me and I had a wee pause before it came back on. I think it was Kevin Owens. I went through a set of tables on the outside. I'm not exactly sure how. Through the network cutting out on me. And Roman Reigns going through the tables, I should say. And I believe it was Kevin Owens went through they had all these chairs on the outside, basically standing up next to each other. Kevin Owens was going for what looked to be a superplex from inside out on top of these chairs. I'm not going to hit that. Roman Reigns fights out of it and eventually Superman punches Kevin Owens off the top turnbuckle and he goes through the chairs. Pretty good spot. Crowd went quite good for it as well. That was the spots in the match. There was an instance in the match as well where Jericho dropped. I thought it would be a United States belt, but in fact it was a set of brass knucks which he dropped from the cage down to Kevin Owens. and Kevin Owens proceeded to Superman punch Roman Reigns with the brass knucks, and lo and behold, Roman Reigns kicks out. Why? It's usual with Roman Reigns. He kicks out of umpteen things in this match that he really shouldn't be kicking out of. But that's WWE's booking for you on that. Get to the end of the match. Roman Reigns is looking strong, putting the beat down on Kevin Owens. Gives him a shield powerbomb. He houses him up, power bombs him through the announce table on the outside, throws him back into the ring, and Kevin Owens ends up across on the opposite side of the ring and at the turnbuckle, and he's got a stacked table behind him. Roman Reigns is getting ready to hit the spear, and we go, here we go again. Kevin Owens is going to hit the spear, 1, 2, 3, that'll be it. But no, Braun Strowman comes in to save the day, and he absolutely decimates Kevin Owens. He picks him up and just completely throws him onto the announce table, onto one of the other announce tables, and it doesn't break. Why the other one's broken, this one didn't, would be on me, but it didn't break. And then he throws Roman into the ring and proceeds to give him the running power slam through the table stacked up in the corner. Kevin Owens crawls over, gets the cover, 1, 2, 3, Kevin Owens is the Universal Champion. So this match was a decent enough, exciting enough match. Kevin Owens carried a lot of that. This match wouldn't have been as good without Kevin Owens, because Roman Reigns is not one of those guys that can go in there and have a great match with anyone. He needs whoever he's in there with to carry the match. He was one of those guys. Hulk Hogan was the same. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, from these guys in the past, all these big guys were all the same. They need to be in there with a guy who is an in-ring general and can carry the match. Let's see, that match was hot and cold. Kevin Owens won, which was great, but he didn't again win on his own steam. He had loads of help with the brass knucks from Chris Jericho and Braun Strowman getting involved. Since becoming champion, he's yet to defend the title once and won it fair and square without cheating. And as it's been proved with Samoa Joe on NXT, you can be a Neville as well. You can be a good heel and win matches without cheating and without interference and still be booed out of the building. You can still be a good heel if you do that. And Kevin Owens is that kind of guy. He could just come out and completely decimate the guys in the ring with, completely destroy him, and people would boo him because he can cut a promo as well if he's given the chance to do a promo correctly. His promos have been as of late, but that's WWE's doing. They're completely brought Kevin Owens down a level from when he came in with John Cena and he was up here. So great that Kevin Owens won the match, bad the way he lost it. And at this point, it looks as if they've set up some sort of feud between Roman and Strowman. Now, whether this leads into WrestleMania or not, we'll get into later, because I threw a ratchet in the works later on in the show that puts all that theory up in the air. So whether it's going to be Strowman at the next pay-per-view, which is Fastlane, I believe, for Raw, or it'll be at WrestleMania, is yet to be seen. But I'm sure we'll find out in good time. Moving on to the next match between Neville and Swan. I enjoyed this match. Bit slow to start. I completely love the Cruiserweight Classic. If you haven't seen it, check it out. The Cruiserweight Classic was fantastic. Some really good wrestlers in there. Kota Ibushi, who's not currently wrestling for the company, came in to wrestle alone, and he is fantastic. WWE needs to throw every dollar they'll go at him to get him in. And as of yet, they haven't been able to do so, but they need to do that. So this match was between Neville and Swan, who made a good showing at the Cruiserweight Classic as well. Neville came out victorious in this match, which I thought I thought was going to happen. Neville's been booked really strong. He's been going through the cruiserweights and the division one after the other, just completely dismantling everybody in the division. So it made sense to make him champion, and I think he is the right guy to hold the title for a while, even after WrestleMania. You have to build that division around Neville. He's the right guy to build it around. But Swann was a good champion and he's a good wrestler, but he's still green when it comes to character, how to be the leader of a division. It's not just about going out there and having good matches. Your character and how you conduct yourself and also has to be one of the things that you take into consideration, and I don't think he's quite at that level yet in that point. Although his in-ring work is absolutely fantastic. We can give him the chance to show it. So this rivalry been building up a while anyway. Neville coming out being disgruntled, not being involved in the Cruiserweight Classic, and calling himself the king of the Cruiserweights, and changing to heel, which I thought was a welcome change. It wasn't really doing anything as a babyface. A lot of folk didn't think he would pull off a heel, but he does it beautifully. And I think this will be probably his character for about a year, and at some point, if he keeps progressing and getting good, fans will eventually get on his side and cheer him eventually. Some of the fans do still cheer for him, but you can hear it in the crowd. Some of the fans do still like him. He's having a hard time getting the fans completely to boo him. But I do believe at some point he will win the fans over as a heel and then turn them back again at some point. The match wasn't too much in the way of spots in the match. Started off slow, started to pick up. Neville, the match ended when Neville went for the superplex from the corner, and Swann kicked out. Neville had previously kicked out of a few of Fritz Swann's manoeuvres, including the Swan song, the super kick that he does. I believe that's what it's called. And we moved on from there in the match. But Neville, Swann kicked out of the superplex, which Neville had been winning a few matches with the last few weeks. That was clearly to build towards this, for Swann to be able to kick out of that. But never hesitated. Straight after he kicked out, he went into that kind of butterfly submission he does, with Swann's hands pulled right behind him. He held the move for about probably a total of 20 seconds, and then he started to really wrench back, and Swann tapped. Neville became the Cruiserweight champion. So, pretty happy that Neville won the title. I thought he was the right guy to give it to at this point in time, and you need to build the Cruiserweight Classic, the Cruiserweights around him. Book him strong on 205 Live. And just in a note as well, the Cruiserweights either had to be moved to SmackDown rather than appearing on Raw every week, or be given more TTV time on Raw. Because if you didn't watch the Cruiserweight Classic, you're watching the Raw guys now, and you're never in a month of Sundays going to watch that 205 Live from what you're seeing on Raw. Because the matches are bad. But they're only running for like 2 to 3 minutes at most. You'll be lucky from start to finish by the time the guys come out, have their match, till they go back to the locker room. You'll be lucky that if they're out there for 5 minutes. And these guys can really go, and they're only getting 5 minutes, so they need to give them 15 minutes. They've got a whole extra hour to cover, which they fill with garbage, and they've got these cruiserweights doing 2 5-minute matches, and you've still got another 50 minutes to fill, and they fill it with absolute garbage. With Stephanie McMahon fucking and Mick Foley in the ring, and fucking horrible stuff. But they need to give them more time, and they need to allow them to take the reins off and go out there what they do best. And if I didn't know any better, this is all Vince McMahon's doing. He knows those cruiserweights can steal that Raw show pretty much any night of the week with the quality of matches that they are capable of putting on. The quality of matches in the Cruiserweight Classic was unbelievable. Some of the best matches that I've seen in a decade. Absolutely brilliant matches. And like I said, wouldn't surprise me if Vince McMahon's making absolutely sure that they're not stealing the show and showing up these heavyweight and mid-card guys on the card because they can't have good matches because they rank rotten. Basically, they can't put on anywhere near as good a match. Half those guys, even on a good day, they can't reach the level that these guys can. But anyway, we rant there. Sorry about that. But moving on to the next match was Cena versus AJ Styles. Now this was a great match. The match itself was great. It's the best match that these two have had to date. I've seen some moves from John Cena that he normally hasn't pulled out the bag. Either hasn't done them for a while, or it was a move that we haven't seen him pull off at all. Only thing that I would say about this match was too many kickouts or finishers. The usual WWE formula have about 50 kickouts of finishers. Now I'm of an old school mind where finishers, your main finisher, should be protected. If somebody hits you with a finisher, it should be finished. So you can have The Rock. Very, very, very rarely will someone kick out of the people's elbow. People will kick out of the Rock Bottom. In the pay-per-view matches, people would kick out of that. But on a very rare occasion, and it's alright to do it rarely, at the end of a big major feud, because it does actually assist the feud if you do it and you don't overdo it. It kicks out of one. It kicks out of one of them. Not 3 and 4. One at a push, 2 if the match is really, really on edge. But like I said, they've had about 17 and kickouts, and that's it. Let's see. So, but Cena won this match with a attitude adjustment. Well, he actually hit 2. He hit 1, and then did a kind of senton roll through. Got AJ Styles back up and hit a second to win the match. AJ Styles looked good in this match as well. There was a kind of sit-down powerbomb maneuver thing that they did, which looked completely one swoop motion. That's probably down to AJ Styles being as good as he is and making Cena look $1 million. Probably one of the best wrestling matches that John Cena has ever had. The only other two guys that I've seen him have those kind of matches with was Randy Orton and Edge. They were very, very good wrestlers, in-ring technicians as well, and they were able to also get that out of John Cena. But AJ Styles is on a higher level than them when it comes to in-ring work. He is, for me, the best wrestler in the world at the minute when it comes to his in-ring work, and he was just able to make John Cena look absolutely fantastic. Cena kicked out of 2 style classes in this match. Oh, sorry, he kicked out of 1 style clash. AJ hit a second, but then couldn't make the cover. And by the time we got over to John Cena was starting to get up. After about 30 seconds of getting hit with it. I believe we've also seen a kick out from a phenomenal forearm as well. And like I said earlier, Styles kicked out of 2 AAs in this match. One from what he does it from the middle rope, and one normal one he did earlier in the match. Well, just before I move on to the Rumble match itself, we did see a little bit of something we don't normally see from Cena in these kind of matches. A little bit of an altercation when it comes to submissions. We've seen AJ with the calf crusher, and John Cena turned that in to the SDF. After that, AJ converted and he went into an SDF on Cena, and then Cena pulled out I can't remember what the submission was at this point for some reason, but he pulled out some sort of other finisher as well, and then that eventually led to AJ getting out of it, and the match continued on as normal. But overall, this was a great match. Like I said, the best match of the day, the best match of the night. Go figure that the one match on the card, on the official Rumble card, the Divas match was on the pre-show, but on the official Rumble card there was only one SmackDown match, and they stole the show hands down. Go figure. SmackDown is the better product. It's booked better. The guys are going out there and having better matches, and it wasn't a surprise to me that this was the best match of the night. And give hats off to Cena. I don't mind John Cena. A lot of people boo him. I used to like him when I was a bit younger. Now I don't really bother him too much. I don't hate him or dislike him. Some people really hate him for some reason, which I don't completely understand. But I neither like or dislike him. But hats off to him. He probably had one of his best matches of his career for a long while in this match. But moving on to the Rumble. Now this is where things get a little sour. I won't wait to the end to go into this because I don't want to be perfectly honest. I'm completely sour and I want to go into this right away. Where does WWE get off in putting Roman Reigns, a man who had a title match and lost, in the Rumble match? And to make matters worse, they put him in at number 30 instead of giving us someone that we maybe didn't expect to see, like a Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, or whoever. There's talks of Kenny Omega maybe appearing in the Royal Rumble over the past few weeks. Personally, I don't think that was ever really going to happen. I think Kenny Omega wanted to win the New Japan World title. I'm a big fan of New Japan. I'm a member of New Japan World, and I watch all the events all the time on a weekly basis. But we talk of him coming in for a while. He will end up in WWE at some point, but it might not be until next year. I think it might be after Mania next year that we see Kenny Omega. But anyway, moving on to this, what I was talking about, like bringing in Roman Reigns number 30 is just disgusting. As far as I know, in the history of the Royal Rumble, from when I was growing up, and some of the old Rumbles I've watched on the network since I got it, no one who was in a match, a championship match, in the Royal Rumble event undercard ever appeared at the Royal Rumble. The only time the champion appeared in the Royal Rumble that I can remember of was last year when Roman defended it in the Royal Rumble. That was the only other time that the champion was in it. The last time the champion was defended and Ric Flair won it, and I believe it was 97 or something like that. The championship had been vacated, so there wasn't a champion going into the Rumble itself. But for whatever reason, anyway, with Roman Reigns, they just continue to try and push this guy. And I'm just not getting it. The fans aren't buying him as a babyface. For me, the best thing for them to do is to take him off television for about 3 months, allow him to go away, allow the fans to get used to not seeing him on telly week after week being booked the same way, the Superman that kicks out everyone. It's a very old-fashioned booking them the way they used to book the Hulk Hogan's and the Warriors back in the day, which was the way that the business was then, and it was all right to do it then. And a lot of us that were into WWE at that time were children. There was adults that liked it, but not to the same level there is now, because all the kids that watched it at that time have moved on and still watch it as adults. So there is more of an adult crowd than there is of a kids crowd these days, especially after the Attitude Era, where that was an adult orientated product. But so they just continue to push this guy, and they did, for whatever reason I don't get it. So like I said, he needs to go away now, he needs to come back, and he needs to be heel. He pretty much the way he is anyway would suit being a badass heel that beats people up. People boo him anyway, so coming out against a Sami Zayn or somebody like that and just completely destroying him, people will boo him at the building for doing that because Sami Zayn's so loved by the crowd. So that's the way I would do it. I'd have him drop the attire and the theme music he's wearing this now and stop saying believe that and try and come back with something a bit more original. Like I was saying earlier on in the video, Roman Reigns, since leaving the Shield, has just took everything he was doing in the Shield, same music, same clothing, the same persona, the same catchphrases that the Shield were using, believe that, the believe thing, all that he was doing in the Shield, and he's not done anything at all to change his character since coming out of the Shield. Both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins changed their characters slightly and tried to be more original. New music, using a new look. I mean, Ambrose changing to the jeans and the tank top, and Seth Rollins changing to the kind of latex suit which he stopped wearing now, thankfully. I think it did look a little silly, but I could see where they were going with it. At least they tried to make him look a bit different. But Roman Reigns just keeps shoving them down our throats. And like I said, they've done nothing to change it. I don't know what makes him think. He got booed at the Royal Rumble 2 years ago. He got booed at it last year when he won it, when he came in as the champion. He got booed and people went nuts when Triple H won it, when he was meant to be the heel. He's meant to be the heel in that confrontation, and people were cheering Triple H because they just cannot stand Roman Reigns. We're tired of Roman Reigns being shoved down our throats week after week. Roman Reigns does have some fans, mostly, and I am willing to bet they're mostly casual fans. They don't really know how the wrestling business works. I am a hardcore wrestling fan. I watch Ring of Honor, New Japan, CMLL. I watch AAA. I watch Evolve. Anywhere I can get, any wrestling I can get my hands on, I'll watch. I've watched a little bit of ICW. Quite hard to find that without having to go onto their site and pay for it. And I'm not really wanting to pay £5 a month to watch it every now and again. I think it's like £5-6 a month to watch it. But I watch any wrestling going that I can get my hands on. I go on YouTube, find loads of stuff on there to get all different styles. So, as the hardcore fans, we see what's going on, and we feel like Vince McMahon is insulting our intelligence, to be perfectly honest. And this is Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn that are booking these. They're booking this. They booked Monday Night Raw. Apparently Vince has the final say what's going on in SmackDown. But I find that very, very hard to believe. Yes, he can have the final say whenever he wants, but I don't think on a regular basis he's okay and everything. And allowed everything to go, because SmackDown at the moment is by far the better show, and he's already railroaded SmackDown in the past when Paul Heyman was running it. SmackDown became the better show than Raw was at that time, and what did he do? He got rid of Paul Heyman, and after that SmackDown went downhill because he didn't want SmackDown better than his flagship show, which was Raw. Go figure why he would do that, I don't know. The whole idea that having the brand splits is to have competition if you're holding a brand back deliberately so they can't get better than one brand, how do you ever expect the other brand to push up and get better? It just isn't going to happen. The competition needs to be there. If SmackDown start beating Raw in the ratings week after week after week after week, that will force them to have to try and do something different with Raw to get to close that gap in the ratings. But anyway, let's see. Well, end of the round. Roman was in this match. Shouldn't have been. It was a complete up yours to the crowd and to the fans at home. We'll do what we like. This is the guy we want to book, and we're going to keep shoving him whether we like it or not. So, moving on from that, the Rumble itself, there was a few standouts. Not go through every elimination and every person that was in it. Strowman had a good showing. He eliminated like 7 guys. He just completely decimated the guys he was in there with. First it was 2 guys trying to team up on him. I believe it was Sami Zayn and the Perfect 10, Tye Dillinger, who came in at number 10. NXT's Tye Dillinger, who I believe will be on the main roster very, very soon. Hopefully on SmackDown, because he'll be wasted on Raw. So hopefully on SmackDown. But he was there, and they ganged up on him. Braun Strowman shrugged them off like they were nothing. Then we had, it was, what's his name again? Mine's been blank. Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. He had a great showing as well. He came in, he was the one that eventually eliminated Braun Strowman. Sami Zayn hit a haluva kick on the corner. Braun Strowman came out to the middle of the ropes, and there was a big clothesline over the ropes from Baron Corbin to eliminate him. But before that, though, as Braun Strowman had Baron Corbin, and there was someone else as well. There were like 4 guys all ganging up on Braun Strowman, and he just shrugged them off like they were nothing. But he was eventually eliminated by Baron Corbin. Next kind of good showing in the match. Sami Zayn himself had an okay showing. I don't recall him eliminating anyone, but he lasted the longest in the match, I believe, than anyone else before he was eliminated. There was a case in the match where Brock Lesnar was in the match and he completely destroyed everybody in the ring. Hadn't eliminated everyone, but he hit F5s and Suplex City all over the place. And for whatever reason, I don't know why they did this a few weeks ago on Raw, and I don't know why before the Survivor. I think they did it before the Survivor Series, and I don't know why they did it again tonight with Sami Zayn coming out and standing up to Brock Lesnar. Because all that's going to do is make Sami Zayn look weak. Because there's no way in hell you're going to have Sami Zayn be able to hang physically with Brock Lesnar. He's going to be destroyed. The way they're booking Lesnar now, especially, they want to make Goldberg look strong. Brock Lesnar has to look strong himself for that to be the case. So I don't know why they did that again, but they did. Sami Zayn get the suplex out of his shoes. To be perfectly honest. He wasn't really involved too much in the way of what was happening inside the ring at that point. He spent most of the time on the canvas and was eventually eliminated. So moving on to Brock Lesnar. Goldberg came out after that point, and basically Brock Lesnar went to attack Goldberg, went under his arm, a lot like he did at Survivor Series, speared Brock Lesnar, picked Brock Lesnar up, tossed him over the ropes, and clearing the building towards Mania. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg will have a match at Mania. Some discussions about that match being for the Universal Championship, which is a very distinct possibility at this point, that Goldberg might win the title from Kevin Owens at Fastlane. I hope to God not. If it was me, I would be trying to book Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for WrestleMania. Imagine how good a match that would be. Every time they have a match, they know each other so well that they can go out there, they go out there every single night and have a great match. Give them half an hour to get out there and just go for the Universal title would be great. But it's probably not going to happen. I would have, let's say, I would have Jericho and Kevin Owens at Fastlane, have them split up, and then have Kevin Owens feud with Sami Zayn over this period of time as well, have that simmering so you can have that match at Mania. So, the way to do it, I would definitely have, that would be the way I would book it. But that's probably not what's going to happen. Most likely, it will be Goldberg. Most likely. But we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. And it probably will be Goldberg and Lesnar for the title at WrestleMania. And so moving on from that, after Brock Lesnar had been eliminated, the Undertaker came into the ring. He laid out a few guys, threw a few guys over the ropes. And as true to form, the Undertaker was the one that eliminated Goldberg. Undertaker wasn't in this match long. We knew he wasn't going to be at his age. He still, I believe, needs to have a hip surgery further down the line, probably after he finishes his wrestling career, to fix that correctly. So he's going to be used sparingly up to this point. And the match, if he does have a match at Mania, it probably will be pretty short, probably around 15 minutes tops. So after Goldberg was eliminated, there wasn't much in the way of what was going on in here. Just before I move on, there was an instance I nearly forgot about with the Wyatts. Luke Harper must have took exception to being Sister Abigail in SmackDown, because he attacked Wyatt himself. Had a bit of a scuffle, got Wyatt in a position for his Sister Abigail, kissed him on the forehead, was ready to hit him with the Sister Abigail, and then Randy Orton came in and broke that up and eventually eliminated him. What was his name again? I forget. I'm sure I mentioned his name a minute ago. I forget. You'll notice how when I do these reviews and I'm trying to think of 20 things at once, that things will pop out of my head from time to time. But after that, like I was saying, moving on from the Undertaker situation, we're starting to dwindle down now to the last few. And that's which had come down to Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns got to in the last three, with Roman Reigns coming out last. But before that, Roman Reigns, this is what I was talking about, the spanner in the works earlier. When Braun Strowman came out and attacked Reigns, I thought, right, this is him going to start booking towards WrestleMania for Roman to go up against Strowman. But now, The Undertaker was eliminated by Roman Reigns. Now, we all pretty much knew going into this match, whoever eliminated The Undertaker would probably be the one going up against Undertaker at Mania. That would probably be the case. But with this stuff with Strowman, that completely throws it up in the air. We don't know what they're planning for that. Will it be a match at Fastlane with Strowman, with The Undertaker coming out and getting involved, possibly? But it's just, I think that's the way it's going to go. If I was booking it from this point, I wouldn't have had any of those matches with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns needs to be in there with someone like an AJ Styles, someone like that who can carry the match and make Roman look good. But he's going to be in there with either an older guy or a guy that's very, very green and does a very slow, methodical pace, and it's just not going to be a good match. It's going to stink out the joint, no matter what match he has at Mania at this point, if it indeed is going to be one of the two. But we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Moving on to the final three, we had the Wyatts gang up on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was able to fight out of it and eventually eliminate Bray Wyatt, and as soon as he eliminated Bray Wyatt and he came down to the two, you're thinking, oh my god. But thankfully it didn't. They had a bit of a scuffle in the ring with Roman Reigns, with Randy Orton. Roman Reigns has had the Superman punch. He's looking to hit the spear. Randy Orton catches him, drops him with the RKO and mid-jump with the spear, and Roman Reigns pops up. He doesn't land flat like they normally would to be for a pin cover. He gets hit with it and jumps straight back up to his feet, like dizzy like that, and then gets clotheslined over the ropes. And Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. Not completely disappointed that Randy winning the Rumble. If this is going to lead into building up to Mania and having Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton at Mania, I think that'll be a good match, providing Wyatt retains. My guess would be, leading up to this, that Bray Wyatt will win an Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks' time. And obviously, over the next couple of weeks, the Wyatt family, with Luke Harper, who was the name of, I nearly forgot earlier, Luke Harper, is imploded. That looks as if that pretty much Luke Harper's going to be out of the picture over the coming weeks leading up to that event. He's probably going to be turning his back completely on Bray Wyatt, and it'll just be Randy Orton and Bray. And after that, that'll be when it'll probably start to come out. I think Bray Wyatt will win that match, and then Randy Orton will turn on him. Whether Randy will be in the match, I don't think he will be, because he's the #1 contender for Mania. So my guess would be it'll be John Cena defending the WWE Championship. AJ Styles will get there. That'll be his rematch that he'll get, and he'll feel that's unfair, and that'll probably lead to a match with, we think it's going to be with Shane McMahon. That certainly looks as if the way it's going to be booked. If AJ doesn't win the title on that night in the Elimination Chamber, that's definitely going to be the match he'll be having at Mania with Shane McMahon. I'm kind of sceptical on that one. I think with AJ Styles, Shane could probably capture the kind of match he had with Angle at King of the Ring 2001 or 2002. It was one or the other. You could probably have a match like that. It'll probably be a no holds barred or something along that lines. It usually is when Shane McMahon has matches. It usually is a match like that, to give it a little bit more than what Shane can do, because he's willing to take a bump. But it'll probably lead into that match anyway. Other guys in the match, other than Cena and AJ from SmackDown, will probably be Dolph Ziggler be in that match. We'll probably have The Miz in that match, I think, as well, unless he's going for the IC title. But I think they look as if they're going to push The Miz towards a main event push very, very soon. The way he's been booked the last few weeks, being in the ring with AJ Styles and getting in his face, that probably will be looking to book him towards a main event push. And to be perfectly honest, he's been probably, other than Samoa Joe in NXT, the best heel on the main roster, most likely on the roster. Definitely the best heel on the main roster. In all of WWE, I have to give that to Samoa Joe. But definitely his work, both in the ring, he's had good matches with Ziggler, he's had good matches with Ambrose, and his work as a heel has been fantastic. He's been so entertaining, and I'm beginning to really warm up to him, and I'm beginning to really like him, whereas before I couldn't stand the guy. So he's made a believer out of me, showing what he's really capable of if the reins are taken off, and hopefully we see that main event push very soon. So he'll probably be in that match. Out with of that, that's 4 guys. The other 2 guys, it's it's up in the air who it'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if Mojo Rawley finds his way into that match, because he's got nothing else to do at the minute. So it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up getting put in that match due to the lack of the roster that they've got. And unless SmackDown debuts someone before then, so they might very well debut Samoa Joe, because he hasn't been at TakeOver in NXT and he hasn't been at any of their live events recently, so he is going to be called up. My guess would be before Mania, if not, or at very least the night after Mania, if he's going to be on Raw, or the night after that if he's going to be on SmackDown. But we think he will be on SmackDown, with Nakamura eventually going to Raw. So that's the way I think that match is going to be booked for Elimination Chamber, pretty much. I can't really think of anyone else there's no standout that might be in that match, other than the 4 that we mentioned. Mojo Rawley I think will be in it, but we'll just have to wait and see. And it probably will lead to Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at Mania. Whether I think Wyatt will be the champion going into that match, but we'll just have to wait and see. They might have a match on SmackDown or something, and have Bray defend it and lose it, or whatever. We'll just have to wait and see. But probably, if he wins it at the Chamber, Bray will probably, which he probably will. I think it will be him that will win it, the way it's booked. And Randy Orton will probably sneak attack him at some point after he wins the title. And that will break the Wyatt, show Randy Orton what he was looking to do all along, break the Wyatts up from within, rather than try to take them head on. A bit like they were doing with Daniel Bryan a few years ago, and they decided to go against that. That was supposed to be what was going to be happening. Daniel Bryan was meant to be in the Wyatts for a period of months, and then eventually turn on Bray Wyatt and break the Wyatt family up from within. But it didn't happen because the fans were going off their rocker. But he picked the perfect guy to do it with in Randy Orton. He's really added to the Wyatt family, and if this all leads to Bray Wyatt becoming the superstar he should be, because his mic skills are fantastic, his in-ring work is great, and he's got bags and bags of personality and charisma. Everything that Roman Reigns hasn't got, in other words. And yet they're pushing him like nobody's business for the last 3 years, and he's did absolutely nothing. And Roman and Bray Wyatt should have been pushed to look strong years ago, but at least finally they're doing it now. But we'll have to see how that pans out. So that's the Royal Rumble review. It's taken me about an hour to do this. So if you watched the video on the day that I've done it, today, which is 29th of January, I believe, I won't be doing an NXT review today because I didn't expect it to be as long. I thought this would take me about a half hour, but it took me the hour to do. So I will do an NXT review, takeover review tomorrow, and get that up for you as well if you are looking forward to that review. So thanks for watching, give it a thumbs up. Per usual, we have the video, please subscribe to the video and feel free to leave any comment on the video at all. Through these events you can leave any opinions on what I spoke about. on the Rumble itself, or you can leave any opinions on how I've conducted the video and put it together, and leave it any negative or positive. The negative comments are just as welcomed as the positive, because I can learn more from the negative points of what I'm doing wrong or what you don't like from the positives, and I can make the videos better. And I'm hoping to be doing these videos and get thousands of subscribers to these videos over time. So thanks for watching the video. I will do the NXT review and get that up for you tomorrow. And after that, the next review will probably be for Mania weekend. I won't be doing a review every single week at the moment, because there's not enough subscribers to bother doing Raw and SmackDown 205 Live and NXT as well. But if we ever get that, I have every intention of doing that, because I watch them all on a weekly basis and I'll do the review straight after. So that's for me in the moment. Look forward to that review tomorrow. And just to remind you, in the coming weeks, we'll be doing a DVD review when it comes to the post in the next few, during this week. Should get it this week, of the Aquaman 60 series. We'll do a review of that. On the 31st of January, we'll have a Hitman unboxing, and I will do the review after I've played it for a few days and get an idea of the game. Before I will do a review on the gameplay in it as well. And the same goes for Wastelands, which will come out in March, which is about 3 weeks after the Hitman comes out. We'll do an unboxing and review for that as well. And I'll have a wee look through my DVD collection, WWE, and my movies, and see what we've got. I've got a huge collection, so we'll see what we're going to do with that. Also, feel free to leave any requests on DVDs, Blu-rays or games. I am a DVD and PS4 junkie. So any games you'd like me to review, or any DVDs you'd like me to review, just put them up there. I will take a note of it. Even if I don't have it, I'll write it down, and if I was planning on getting it anyway, I'll try and get it as soon as possible for you and get it review and get an unboxing done for you. So leave the comments down below, subscribe, and I will see you next time on the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.